Good morning, once again from the beautiful city of Natal. Today we are in one of the most famous beaches here, if not the most famous one, called Ponta Negra. This beach is famous not only in Brazil, but I would say even worldwide. It is an amazing, beautiful destination for a lot of local and international tourists, especially this beach, Ponta Negra, because of what you see here. This part is world famous. You might see a lot of postcards, or even if you Google just the name Natal, the pictures of this site will come up. In Portuguese, it is called Morro de Careca, which in English you can translate it to the bald person's head, because basically this part, it looks like the middle part of the head of a person who's losing hair, and then on both sides you have the hair. I believe before you could go there, but now it's
well, now you cannot go anymore because people are starting to destroy the whole hill. And another very interesting thing, that is all sand. So it's a hill made of sand, and it's holding the way it is because of all the vegetation that it's making sure that the whole sand stays where it is. And as you can see, there is also a lot of constructions very close to the let's say bald guy. And that was was starting to worry a lot of people, because the sand and everything else was starting to come directly to the sea, and then eventually that's gonna finish. So that's why now you cannot go there anymore.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to fly the drone, obviously, because we are on the beach. It's very windy, but just to get a bit closer to that area, and hopefully I can go around it also if the wind allows. So today we're gonna stay in this neighborhood of Natal, and after the beach itself we're gonna go walk not by the water. It's like a hill, so we have to go up there where there is the artisanal mall that you can buy all the handcrafts and all the local souvenirs, let's say. The plan is to also have lunch here in Ponta Negra in Natal today. So this is what we're gonna do today, and while we are gonna go walk there, we are also going to talk about the city, give you some more interesting facts about Natal and the beach of Ponta Negra. So the beach actually starts right from the bottom of that hill. As you can see, there are little buildings right by the side of the hill, and to the point that now it's considered a protected area. And then from that side on, the beach starts. It goes the whole way until the end on that side. At the end, there are some hotels also and luxury resorts. I believe an Uber driver told us that at the end, that beach, they actually call it Miami Beach. I don't know if it is true or not, but it looks like at the end over there, it's actually another beach. Ponta Negra, as I mentioned, we are very, very low at the water level, and then it goes uphill. So where we parked, there are stairs here that you can come down from the car, and all of these other buildings are actually up there on the main road of the city, and the beach is down here, which creates a very good separation between the city and the beach. At the same time that you're right in the middle of the city, the beach is completely away from the traffic, from the cars, noise, the pollution. So when you're by the beach, you don't need to inhale smoke coming from the cars and all of that. To give you a little bit of the history about Ponta Negra, it used to be, like years ago, used to be just a little village for fishermen and also farmers that would plant mandioca, which is part of the Brazilian diet. It's a root. You can cook it by just boiling it, which kind of has like a texture and the taste of potato, but you can also fry it as well, like potato. So mandioca is very common here. You can also grind the root. It's a root actually, so you can grind it and get flour from it, and then from the flour there is also a lot of other items that you can cook from the flour. So the farmers of mandioca and the fishermen used to be here before this beach was actually discovered. And after that, tourism and other people came, and Natal actually, where we are actually behind this hill that you see. 10 minutes of driving in that direction is where we're staying. Then you come to Ponta Negra, which is the first neighborhood after you leave where we are, Pium, and then it continues on this side also the whole way. The origin of the name Ponta Negra is, which means black point. They say one of the origins could be for finding dark rocks and stones on the beach, which even here I'm not sure if these are actually from the beach or they brought them, but originally it was very common that on the beach you would find a lot of dark rocks and stones, and that's where Ponta Negra gets its name from. As you can see today also, the tide is not that high, so it gives you a very, very wide beach that you can use, and a lot of people are here. Right now it's actually 11 a.m. so, and on a Thursday, so a lot of people are already here enjoying the beach. Now we're gonna go up. Mariana is up there waiting for me, and we're gonna walk by the main road that is above here by the beach before going to the main street to show you what else you can find in Ponta Negra. Also, when you search on Google about Ponta Negra, you will find a lot of tourist attractions. Even here when you come to the beach, there are a lot of people offering a lot of tours, a lot of tourist activities. So that too, you can definitely easily find it either on the beach, or when you just Google on Google, you look for Ponta Negra. A lot of activities, boats, different beaches that they take you. There is safari, or the other activity that we did on our own, that we went to another beach that you can rent a buggy, and it has like heels. They drive all over the place. You have to watch that video too. It was a lot of fun, a lot of emotions when you're in the back of the buggy, but it is worth it, definitely. And again, as I mentioned, you are on a lower point at the beach, so all of these streets are actually downhill, that you park the car and then you take the stairs to come here. A lot of hotels also by the water, and a lot of fairy friends too, enjoying the beach as well. Okay, so now we came to the upper side of the Ponta Negra Beach, where it has the artisanal market that we wanted to show you a little bit, and after that I'm gonna talk about the surrounding areas and the other streets. It's a typical artisanal market like the one that we showed you in Maceió. The local products, handcrafts, the dresses that and the beach. This is the ladies' specialization, like things like that you wear over the bikini. It's just
in English would be, I think, dress.
A dress?
Yeah.
Okay. Like what you wear over your swimsuit, swimwear, bags, hats, and some candy always. You never go wrong with candy. Oh, this is cute. So as we showed you before, near here, actually near where we are staying, there is the biggest cashew tree in the world. And we have a video on that too. Make sure you watch it. And just for that purpose, I think you have a public phone here, which is designed in the shape of a cashew. Nice touch. Interesting. Even the garbage is in the shape of a coconut shell. Half of the shell of a coconut. Ah, yeah, another garbage in the shape of cashew. Right next to the artisanal market, we have this street in front of us. It's called Praia de Ponta Negra. Basically, it's the street of the Ponta Negra Beach, and all along this street it goes like a few kilometers. At night, you cannot even find parking. It's packed and full of very, very nice restaurants. Now during the day it's almost empty, but at night this place is extremely busy and a lot of movement, a lot of activities happening. Also, along this other street that is also called Roberto Freire Street. That is the main street on top of the beach where we were. As you can see, the hill with the Ponta is there. This is the main street. And going down the hill, thank you to the bus that just destroyed my view. But going down this hill, okay, the bus just left. It was quick. All these side streets that they go down, it's full of restaurants. There is even a sign here, food park, and there are food trucks. So if also you want to have more affordable options, there is plenty. And as you saw on the beach as well, there are a lot of street vendors that while you're on the beach you can buy drinks, you can buy coconut water, they bring you everything. And you can, the same people that you rent the umbrella and the chair from, they bring you everything that you would want to eat or drink as well. We're gonna stay here for a while, and after we're gonna go have lunch. We came to a restaurant. It's a buffet style, Brazilian. This is the sweets. I'm going to do very quick because I don't want to bother other people in the restaurant. The salad section. Then here is the main dish. You can also have, I believe, pasta that you can order. Other options. And the world famous Brazilian barbecue. Then besides here, there is also a section for sushi that is on the other side. And you have all kind of sushi. Sushi that they are preparing fresh for you to have. So we're gonna have a lot of food, I believe. Let's see. I'm hungry. Surprise, surprise, I'm hungry. What do you want? Okay, very nice. The name of the restaurant is Pinga Fogo. This is just a drink menu. We took a juice, I believe it's Mariana ordered. It's pineapple with mint. It's very good juice, I love it. Another thing about the buffet is that the side that I showed you that had the salad and the meat and everything else that you saw on the first part, this is by kilo. That you put whatever you want on your plate and then they weigh your plate. The other side for sushi is by unit, so they charge you by the number of pieces that you take. This is very common. Like most of the restaurants in Brazil, they are like this buffet. Sushi is by unit. So Mariana went to fill up her plate, and after her I'm gonna go and entertain myself with the buffet. So just in case you had any doubts that we are carnivores, this is our plate. I got some seafood as well. This is filet mignon. This is, I believe, picanha, and this one is alcate. So basically they weigh your plate. Each client, each customer has a number. They add the weight of your plate to your number plus the juice, and then at the end you pay. That's how it works. And now I'm going to be a very happy man. And 30 seconds later, everything is gone, and I'm happy. The food was very good, quality was amazing. I ate a lot. Again, don't judge, guys. Don't judge. And since the desserts in Brazil are absolutely irresistible, Mariana went to get desserts for herself, and then I'm gonna be next in line. And at the end of the meal, we're gonna also tell you how much all of this cost. We just left the restaurant. I forgot to film. We also got dessert, and I also got an espresso. So all of that with I'm gonna just check to see if there is the 10% service as well or not. No, they don't charge for service because it's self-service. You go and you pick it up, but there were like waiters bringing us like drinks, but they don't. Usually the other restaurants there is 10% service fee, but all of that came up to 187 reais, which with today's exchange rate, it's more or less like 51 Canadian dollar. Like in Canada, to eat this much food, especially meat, for only like 51 Canadian dollars, it's unheard of.
Dessert, natural juice. Like
oh yeah, we had 2 juices too.
Juice like coffee and no, never.
No. Amazing.
50 Canadian dollars, no way.
No. Alright, so that was the restaurant, and now we're gonna head to the next place. When you're in Natal and you're in Ponta Negra, you don't go anywhere else. You come back to Ponta Negra. This beautiful beach, you don't leave it. So we wanted also to talk to you a little bit about the city of Natal itself, because we're going to be staying here. There will be some more videos about Natal, and we showed you the other beaches and where we are staying. Today was Ponta Negra, but we wanted to also talk to you in general about Natal itself.
So the city of Natal was founded in December 25th, 1599, which is actually Christmas Day, and that's why the name of the city is called Natal, because Natal means Christmas in Portuguese. Natal is the 6th largest capital in Brazil, and the 2nd largest oil producer in Brazil, to the city in Brazil. One thing very interesting is, like, we see a lot of this name in the city, Potiguar, and something like saying that I am Potiguar, with a lot of pride. And then looking at the history, actually Potiguar is the native people that used to live here when the Portuguese arrived. And for the first 300 years after the city was discovered, the native, they resisted a lot the invasion, and that made the people here from Natal very proud, actually, for the resistance. Because after the Portuguese, then there was the invasion of the Dutch people, and they stayed in the region for around 20 years in the 1600s, and then after that they were expelled by the Portuguese. But the native people, they resisted all of this invasion, but they also had the help of the French pirates that they would come here to Brazil to trade and or to traffic wood, the pau-brasil, that was extremely used in Europe for many reasons, especially for dyeing of the tissue that they were used for the clothes.
Another very interesting point about Natal is the geographic location, which is called, it's said to be the corner of South America. And if you look at the map, you're gonna see that really like Natal is really positioned in the corner of the whole continent. But it was actually by the US was established that it's one of the 4th main strategic points, especially during World War II. And here in Natal, the US built an Air Force base that was used during the Second World War II to send planes and to send also here a lot of soldiers to fight during the war. And
sorry, just to add to that, the base is actually right now it still exists, and
yes,
it is very close to Pium, the area where we are. Almost on daily basis we see military helicopters and planes doing trainings, and so it still exists, the same base, but it's not an American base anymore. It is now under control of the Brazilian government. There is no American military base here, but just wanted to add that it still exists and it's still in operation. Also, right across the road from the military base, there is also the center where all the research happens for the aerospace program that they have in Brazil. Research, and also the launch of satellites, like satellites and everything else that they want to send to the orbit is actually sent from this area, not Natal, where we are staying, the neighborhood of Pium. And there is even a museum. We will try to see if we can go and visit that museum also. I believe it's called Museum of Aerospace. Every day we drive by it when we are going back to our place. That should be an interesting place to see as well. One more thing I wanted to show is, as you see the difference between the level of the water, or where the water is, and where here the sidewalk is that we're walking, you see there's a lot of work being done to make sure that they can actually build some retaining walls. Like here you see the retaining wall is finished. They built it already. They were doing the same thing in Maceió also. I don't know if the water is coming closer, or unfortunately there was no control and people built too close to the water, and now they want to stop this. They want to leave some space for the beach so people can actually enjoy the beach, at the same time also controlling the construction, or basically I have to actually say the illegal construction, that if they don't put any barrier, unfortunately people just come and build like on the water, which was what we saw in Maragogi, no?
Yeah,
Maragogi, when we went, it was like by the water.
By the water. People built their houses by the water, with the water like hitting their like walls, like crazy.
Yeah, like for example, you see this house here. Imagine the water was hitting this part of the house, which is kind of like the foundation, and the sea was there. So I think here they are really trying to avoid that, because I mean, come on, then nobody can enjoy the beach. And this side, you see where they had put the wall, the beach exists, the illegal construction has stopped, and everybody can enjoy the beach and the nature. And my God, from this side you can just see how beautiful this place is.
Another very important point to make, or like, is the climate, so the temperature here. Overall, the whole year, Natal keeps almost the same temperature. So it's, I would say, maybe around 28 degrees year round. And there is, as you can see, there is always this wind. So it's always windy. So the city never gets really hot. There is no extreme temperatures here. Like it's very rare that you're gonna see 40 degrees. So it won't be that hot. That's why maybe a lot of people also they choose to live here because of that. And another very important thing that we actually realized, and it's the cost of living that we compare like to other cities that we have been, like Goiânia, Maceió, and then now this city, the Natal. We realized that Natal is the cheapest overall. Like when you compare like accommodation, food, restaurants, and supermarkets, we realized that Natal is among these cities that we have been is the cheapest. So maybe that's another point to like to attract more people to come here, or a lot of tourists that they come, because Natal is very, very famous internationally. They have the two main beaches, Pipa and Genipabu, which are like internationally well-known beaches, and that attracts a lot of foreigners to come here. And when they realize that they spend like their money can go much further, why not stay here?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about geo arbitrage, right? So us as tourists, if we are in Brazil, but then we are in a place that has this beautiful beach, cost of living is less, but you can have the same good food, you can have the same decent accommodation, transportation and everything else, but for like 20-30% less. Why not? You go to the place that your money gives you not necessarily more purchase power, but you can do more with your money. One example is yesterday we decided to rent a car because we looked and we were planning to do certain things going around, did a vaccination for our dog and all of that. Then we calculated, actually, I should give credit, Mariana paid attention and she saw, okay, every time we want to go back to the clinic and then go back to our place, go do the other things, go to the supermarket, at the end if you add it up, it's going to be the same as getting a car. So this is what happens when you have more options and you don't need to spend too much on accommodation and food, then you can spend on something else.
Yes.
Next time maybe again we rent a car and go to another beach that we haven't visited yet.
Yes.
This is for us a perfect combination that Natal offers you, that has a combination of all the good things basically.
Yes, so far when we compared all the cities that we have been, like Natal is this, like in all the
Checks all the boxes.
so far.
Oh, yeah.
Like among all the cities we have been, like with accommodation, food, transportation, it is still better than the other cities. Like we can say like Goiânia, the food was cheap but accommodation was expensive. Maceió, everything was more expensive. Accommodation was maybe a bit cheaper than Goiânia, but food was extremely expensive.
Yeah, when you
Like,
compare now to Natal.
Then when you come to Natal, then you see food at restaurant, food at the supermarket, and accommodation, like everything is much cheaper. And I would say like much cheaper in a way, what, 30-40%?
At least 30%, yes.
Yeah, minimum 30% cheaper than the other cities. So this makes for us that we are always looking at, geo arbitrage and see where our money goes further. Like Natal is winning.
Oh yeah, definitely. Another thing that Mariana also mentioned about the geographic location of Natal gives it a lot of importance. If you have watched our other video in João Pessoa, there is a point called Ponta de Seixas.
Ponta dos Seixas.
Ponta dos Seixas, which is the easternmost point of South America. Geographically speaking, that point has the shortest distance to Africa. However, when you come a little bit further north and you come to Natal, you see that Natal, because it's a little bit further north, maybe because this makes it closer to Europe, and also even if you want to go to North America and Africa, it gives it like a much more important role, strategically speaking. And even in terms of commerce, imports, exports, the ports that they have in Natal makes it very attractive for all kinds of needs that you might have as for business, for tourism, for everything. That's why it plays a very important role, and that's why it's so much in demand. So that's why we wanted to come to Natal also and do the
One
videos.
more thing.
Go ahead.
Well, Natal actually, it was not an indication, but our friends back in Montreal, they always come, when they come to Brazil, they come to Natal and they love it. So that's why we actually came here without actually not really researching anything in specific.
Yes.
We
Sorry
just
to
came.
interrupt you. One thing, security also. This is the police patrolling the beach, so nothing to worry about. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why we also came here like with no expectations, but at the same time trusting the fact that our very good friends of many years in Montreal, they always come here and they always talk about the city very well. So that's why also there was
We are in love with Natal, and we came with very little expectation, and the city absolutely surpassed our expectations.
Yes.
We love it.
Love it.
So stay tuned for more videos also about Natal. We're gonna be here for a while, go visit as much as we can. If you like the video, it helps you get a bit more information, give us a like to help our channel. If you have any questions, write in the comment section, ask us anything else that you would like to know or to see, and we'll make sure that we answer all of your comments. Stay tuned for the next one and keep on traveling.
Bye.
Before we end the video, I also wanted to give you some information about the car. This is the car that we rented. It's a Fiat Mobi. It's the cheapest, the smallest class of car, but for us that we just want to get around the city, it does the job. It's also manual. It's not automatic, which I really don't mind. I love actually manual. And it was how much?
107 reais.
107 reais for the day.
For and one day, and with everything, insurance and all the fees and everything else that they charge.
And most of the cars in Brazil, you can put, as I had mentioned in other videos, gas and ethanol. So now we're gonna go actually return the car, and I'm gonna double check. Yes, it's written flex. So flex, it means it's flexible, and you can put gas or ethanol in the car. So that's another thing I really wanted to share with you guys before we finish the video, and we'll see you in the next one.